So now we are rolling, right? So I'm very happy to inform everybody who is watching that I am with an extraordinary educator. Okay, um, uh, this lady you see before you is Mrs. Shanta Menon, and she was my teacher in school. She was not only my economics teacher but also my class teacher, and I think she must have been one of those few people who inspired me to become a teacher myself when I started my career. So today we are going to have a small chat with Mrs. Menon. First, I'd like to ask, Mrs. Menon, would you like to say something to introduce yourself? How would you introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I am Shanta Menon. It's a great pleasure meeting you all. I won't bore you.
So I'm going to shoot a few questions at Mrs. Menon. So Mrs. Menon, first question is, how long have you been in the teaching profession?
About 57 years.
Did I hear that right? Did you just say 57 years?
Yeah, started in 1968.
Oh.
My first school was National High School for Boys. And there was a time when I was in 3 schools at the same time.
3 schools at the same time, but how did you manage to
One
do that?
time, somewhere, full time, somewhere like that. It was National High School for Boys, Loreto House, and Don Bosco House.
Okay. And what are your reflections on the teaching profession back then? How was it back then being a teacher in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s?
Very enjoyable for me, I know that. And because teaching was my passion, right from day one. I had worked in a college in Kerala before I came down to Calcutta, right? And then I was assistant head of the Department of Economics. And I got the job immediately after the day I got my MA result. That was my first beginning of teaching.
One day after you got your MA results,
The next
you started teaching.
Next day, my principal called me and gave me an envelope. Said, Shanta, open it and see what is there for you.
Okay.
When I opened it,
It was in an offer to teach in the same college where you did your MA from. Which college was that?
that was Guru Ayappan College, Calicut,
Oh.
where I studied.
Okay. And when you started teaching, did you face any challenges when you started your career as a teacher?
No.
You didn't feel?
No, nothing like that. I don't know why. It came as though it was quite natural with me.
Right.
That's what how
Right.
I felt. It was not that, there's so many students in front of me, how will I do, what will I do? These questions never come to my mind at that. Never. Whatever. I still remember entering Don Bosco, Father Sheehy had called me. So he told me, ma'am, you meet the students in the class. I taught them something, and then I asked them, is it clear to you? It was about money. The topic was money.
All
About
right.
money.
All right.
And there was pin drop silence. I said, had it. Nobody did like what I said or did. Then suddenly one arm popped up from in between. Miss, can I say something? I said, of course. Will you stay? That was the question. And then it became a chorus from the class. I didn't know how to thank God for that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That was the beginning of my career in Don Bosco. Don Bosco alone, I was there for 25 years.
25 years. Long time. So you said that the first class was on the topic of money. Your topic was money. That first class, the discussion was on money. So how important do you feel money is in life?
We need money. I don't say that. But money should not be the focus of everything.
Okay.
I mean, you should not go after money. Money is needed. Everybody needs money. That there are, with due respect to everybody, there are people who literally run after that, want a mass, ignore everything and other values in life. That is not, I don't know, for me, that's not right.
So you're saying that money has a role to play in the sense that it's needed for life, the necessities of life, and some luxuries
Luxuries also.
also. So it's not bad to have money. It's not bad to want to have more money.
No,
But-
not at all. Not at all.
because there are plenty of people who advocate. They say that money is bad. Money is the root of evil, and all of that.
That depends on the person.
Ah,
That depends on the person.
correct.
Take the famous Tata
Tata, yes. Jamshedji Tata
and now Ratan
and
Tata.
Ratan Tata, yes.
The richest person actually in the world. He is as simple as anyone you can ever meet.
Right?
It is not spoiled.
Ah.
So you cannot say that because you have money you are going to be spoiled. No, not necessarily.
And as a teacher of economics, have you ever this before I ask that, I mean you've taught boys, you've taught girls. So between boys and girls, who do you feel make better students?
This question I've been asked by the student when Don Bosco and Roberto.
Yes.
I said for me both are good
Both are good.
because they are my children.
They are children. Correct.
That's the only way I looked at them, not as a boy or as a girl, different like that.
Right.
They were all my children wherever I have gone.
Right.
So both are
Right.
equally good. It depends on the person, whether it's a boy or a girl. Am I ready to do what I should do? Then I'm the best.
So when you say, "Am I ready to do what I should do?" Can you put that in the context of, in a more generalized context, which gives us a little framework? Like when you say, "I do what I should do," what is that should?
See, as a student,
Hmm.
what's your top priority?
Okay, that's a question from my
Yes.
teacher. As a student, my top priority has always been, and is today. I mean, I'm still a student because I believe that education is a lifelong process. We are taught that when we do our B.Ed and all that. No, so no. See, my first priority as a student is to be able to learn something new, and to get information which will help me in my daily life and in living in the world, and also or at one level there is knowledge which is very practical and solid and tangible, and then there is also knowledge which is not necessarily part of the physical practical sphere. Like we had moral science classes, and then we had value education classes. So I think those things are a very important part of our development, because we remember those classes very fondly. I at least do. And so there's, on the one hand, there is tangible knowledge of languages, knowledge of geography, knowledge of mathematics, knowledge of economics, because all of these are so important for everyday living and planning our lives.
Absolutely.
And the second thing is abstract thinking, the capacity for creativity. I feel that is also very important as a student, and I think, I don't know, can economics be creative?
Of course.
How so?
Right? How do you create a budget?
How do you create a budget? That's right. Right. So you have to think of the future, project into the future, and so there is creativity involved there.
From the family,
Ah,
it begins.
okay.
When you get your salary, what am I going to do with it? Create it. And that's what our finance minister did in the national level.
Okay.
Family of India.
Correct. And when it comes to, like, is there any financial advice you would like to give your students? Because many of us, we've earned money, we've squandered money, sometimes we have saved money, different phases of life we've done different things. But if you had to give a message to the youth regarding financial management, managing their money, what would that message be?
That's a very tricky question.
Uh-huh.
See, you should go to the excuse me, the two extremes.
Okay.
Neither be a miser
Right.
nor a spendthrift.
Right.
However many pounds you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family.
Right.
But see, it's all you cannot make it a general rule because each person is different and their thoughts are different, their needs are different,
Their lifestyle
is different. So many things are different. So we can't put a general rule. No, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Right. So it requires a lot of critical thinking on the part of each person.
Little, not too much. Don't sit and think so critically, then you may lose track of many things.
Okay. There are going to be many students of yours who are going to be watching this. So, I just want you to, do you have a message for your ex-students who are watching this?
I never call any of them as my students.
Uh-huh.
I never, in these so many years of teaching, I've never addressed them as students. They've always been my children and they will always be my children.
How wonderful.
And, I might have scolded them, I might have punished them, I might have encouraged them, but as my child.
So we are very lucky that we had such a good mother. We had Mrs. Menon. She was actually more than a teacher for us, and we feared her because she was very strict. She was a disciplinarian, but she was so thorough in her classes. She was so thorough. I remember because we were a bunch of naughty children. So I remember once we were teaching us the Green Revolution, and and then you asked me a question in class, and I gave some. I hadn't studied, or I hadn't paid attention, and so I gave some crazy answer, and I remember the dressing down I got that day. But I'm thankful to say that if Mrs. Menon had not been my teacher, I don't think I would have ever passed in economics, because this is because of her guidance that I managed to pass in economics. I never intended to be an economics student because I went on to study literature. Ma'am, what are your views on literature?
I enjoy reading books.
You enjoy reading books. Do you still read? All right.
I love reading.
Ah, wonderful. And are you a spiritual person?
Not to that extreme. I do believe in God. And I just ask one thing only, and that is blessings. Give me your blessings.
Okay, this is lemonade.
Checked.
Blessings. Mrs. Menon she's asking God for blessings, and so you heard the saying, when God gives you a lemon, make lemonade. So God gave her 2 lemons, and with that she made lemonade for me. So this is Mrs.
to have it with him today.
So this is Mrs. Menon's blessing for me, right? So yes, and I think we will continue this in part 2 because we've spoken a lot today.
Thank you for being there. God bless you all.
Bye.